Good morning all, hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe. It's Thursday, May the 7th. Not so much going on today in terms of big news. I'll bring you the usual US cases, slightly up on yesterday but not by much. Florida cases, again slightly up but not by much, still doing okay. We're going to look at where Florida actually sits in terms of cases per head of population rather than just the ranking where it sits with total cases. That's better news, tells a fuller picture. Disney World has now scrubbed all hotel reservations through May 31st. Disneyland in Anaheim is now only accepting reservations from July the 1st as it's still under a lockdown order. And we're going to look at how the state is looking to deal with the coronavirus during a hurricane, because our hurricane season starts on June the 1st again. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll get this news around 6 days a week at the moment. I'm trying to bring you some news every day except for Sundays, so subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay, let's go to the news. US cases yesterday were 25,459, which is the lowest 3-day total since April the 4th. Cases in Florida yesterday stood at 563, which is very slightly up on Tuesday. Florida seems to be doing quite well in terms of cases per head of population. As you can see in this table from Worldometers, Florida currently ranks number 8 in terms of total number of cases in the state. However, when you look at how many cases we have per head of population, Florida actually ranks 25th. Disney has now cancelled all resort and dining reservations through May 31st. Walt Disney World is, however, still taking reservations from June the 1st. Disneyland hotels, however, have pushed back their reservations until July the 1st, with California still being under a lockdown order. Hurricane season begins in Florida on June the 1st, and officials are now looking at how to deal with people fleeing their homes in the event that a hurricane does hit. Florida Emergency Management Director Jared Moskowitz is working with the Federal Emergency Management Agency on potential changes to how the state handles evacuations and sheltering. Moskowitz said that might include shelters that only accept people infected with the virus, or orders for people to shelter in place depending on the strength of the building and the power of the storm. So seemingly good news on US cases and Florida cases. Although they were slightly up, they do seem to be either leveling off or, as a trend going down slightly, which is great news. As I said yesterday, we won't know about any spike in cases, especially in Florida, for a couple of weeks probably, until people's symptoms show, and then we'll know whether this reopening of Florida in phase 1 has had any effect on number of cases going up or not. If we still see a decline over that first couple of weeks, then I believe that Governor DeSantis is going to send us into phase 2, where further things can open. So while Florida ranks 8th in the nation for total number of cases, we actually rank 25th in the country for cases per 100,000 of population. And because Florida is a fairly urban environment, we'd expect it to be up there and maybe way up past 25th. So I'm actually quite happy that we're dealing with things. There's more and more testing happening. I didn't report on that today because I couldn't really find the news to get out to you, but I know from looking at news reports and reading news reports that we do seem to be getting better at testing, and the positive tests per 1,000 tests coming back is around 2.5% now, which is just great for us. And I do hope it continues in that vein and then gets lower down to 0. Disney World scrubbing hotel reservations through May 31st didn't come to me as a great shock. What it does now is play directly into the June the 1st reservations, which they opened up some time ago. So as you know, we are due to go to Port Orleans Riverside on June the 1st. So if they're going to scrub that June the 1st date as well, they're going to have to do that, I guess, by next Wednesday. So does that mean they're going to have to tell us if they're going to open up the resorts by June the 1st next week? I guess it does. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for that news. That's going to be huge news, obviously. We're still looking at when Disney Springs is going to reopen and Universal City Walk. No news on that yet, and I still believe that's going to be a soft opening. I just don't think they're going to announce that for fear of people mobbing the place. So as soon as that opens, though, having just said I fear that people will mob the place, I will be going down there as quickly as I can just to see what it's like and then to bring that footage to you guys. Disneyland now only accepting reservations from July the 1st. Again, no great shock there. California is behind Florida in terms of opening up the state. I do read that there may be some relaxation of the stay-at-home order this week or early next week. But they're just taking more caution, I think, in terms of where they want to open up. And then how is the state looking to deal with hurricanes? Our hurricane season runs from June to October. Our hurricanes seem to have been getting later in the year, September, October, but precautions have to be put in place, I guess, for June the 1st. So the state is now looking to either almost quarantine people with the virus in certain places, or then have less people per square foot in wherever they're gonna send them to get out of the way of the hurricanes for a while. So there's usually enough space. I think that the hurricanes that hit Florida, certainly in central Florida, aren't too great in terms of displacing population. The displacement usually happens on the coast. So I'm guessing that the state is going to have to put in more places for people to go to while hurricanes hit, just so that they can spread them out a bit further. So it's good news that they're looking at that. And that really is the news today. No earth-shattering stuff going on. We just seem to be kind of plodding on in phase 1, which is great. You know, we want to plod on in phase 1 so we can get to phase 2. I'll probably talk about exactly what happens in phase 2 tomorrow, just to bring more detail to that. But for now, that's it. So stay safe, stay well, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.